With the dawn of the 90s, the arcade game started to become more competitive, innovative, and yet still awesome.
We better get going. There's no time to lose.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our series on the top 10 arcade games per decade, with our picks for the top 10 arcade games of the 1990s. For this list, we're looking at the best arcade games that the 90s had to offer in terms of commercial appeal, critical acclaim, and lasting legacy. While most of these games eventually saw ports to home consoles, we're focusing mostly on games that gained popularity in the arcades.
You can't kill me, copper!
Number 10. X-Men.
Go and save the city.
Before Hollywood got its claws into superheroes, video games were a popular medium for these timeless characters. And no game represents them better than Konami's X-Men, back when Konami used to be cool. The game allowed up to 6 players at once, each controlling one of the mutants in a side-scrolling beat-em-up with the unique twist of the X-Men's fantastical powers. The game was simple yet incredibly fun, and playing with friends provided some of the best times you could have at an arcade. The infamous writing, such as "Welcome to Die," is only icing on the cake.
X-Men, welcome to die.
Number 9. NBA Jam.
Johnson!
Sports games will always be popular. Madden releases practically the same game every year and still sells millions.
He scores!
NBA Jam was a unique sporting game in that it was highly exaggerated, meaning players could jump freakishly high and there were little to no rules, so anything was fair game.
Johnson! For 2! Kyle comes away with the board!
This crazed and fast-paced form of sports game gave rise to other popular ones of the time like NFL Blitz, and it soon amassed a revenue of $1 billion in quarters, becoming one of the highest-earning arcade games ever. Sports really do bring the money.
It is no good!
Number 8. Metal Slug.
Mission 1, start!
The gameplay for Metal Slug is quite simple. All you have to do is shoot continuously, and we mean continuously, at a constant stream of enemies to reach the end of the level. However, it's not the fast-paced run-and-gun style of the game that makes it so fun, although that is a major contributor, but its wicked sense of humor. The game was uproarious, with its hand-drawn animations and the Schwarzenegger-like announcer whenever you picked up a rocket launcher.
Rocket launcher!
It was so successful that it spawned numerous sequels, and began one of the best run-and-gun franchises in arcade history.
Mission complete!
Number 7. Mortal Kombat 2. The sequel to the game that had parents and politicians flipping out and kids pouring money into machines, Mortal Kombat 2 is a game for the history books. Featuring various legendary characters who battle to the death, the game was notable for introducing series favorites such as Shao Kahn and Katana, and for improving on the brutal fatalities with more gory effects. Also, in response to the controversy the first game got, the developers had a little fun including the satirical friendships and babalities for those who want their games to be happy and friendly.
Liu Kang wins. Friendship.
Number 6. Time Crisis 2. Expanding on the concept of sequels perfecting their originals, Time Crisis 2 blew its predecessor out of the water and created arguably the best rail shooter ever. The game features the popular light gun function and includes a pedal at the base of the cabinet for players to pop in and out of cover. This helped immerse players, and the cooperative gameplay made killing with friends even more fun.
Time to get rid of them.
It's still possible to find this game in arcades today, proving the lasting legacy that this game had on both the franchise and on light shooters in general. Number 5. Daytona USA.
And they're underway.
Daytona USA set the bar high for arcade-style racers, and few have been able to match it. The gameplay is basic. You're in a race trying to keep the timer at the top of the screen from reaching 0 by getting through the checkpoints as fast as possible. While the racing was fun, it maintained a constant buttery smooth 60 frames per second, and the graphics were considered the best of its time when it was released. Remember, this came out in 1994.
Welcome to Victory Lane.
This led to it becoming one of the highest grossing arcade games ever, and it stayed in arcades for more than 2 decades. Number 4. The Simpsons arcade game. Released during The Simpsons' second season, this arcade game didn't just ride the show's popularity, it was engaging in its own right, and became a mainstay in arcades throughout the decade. The game lets up to 4 players control the legendary family as they beat up enemies while attempting to save Maggie. Each of the family members, aside from Homer, has their own unique weapon. And thanks to its addictive gameplay and the co-op fun that came from playing as the hottest family on TV, there really was no stopping The Simpsons in the early 90s.
Welcome to your grave. Up and at 'em.
Number 3. Star Wars Trilogy Arcade. Squeaking in at the end of the decade, this game capped off the 90s in style and is considered one of the decade's best. It's a rail shooter in which the player reenacts major scenes and battles from the film trilogy, including the popular Battle of Hoth and the Endor speeder bike chase. Star Wars certainly was no stranger to the arcades, as Sega's Star Wars also proved to be enjoyable. But as far as making you feel like you're part of the films, Trilogy Arcade takes 3rd place.
Your skills are complete.
Number 2. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Turtles in Time.
Cowabunga!
Here's another licensed video game released by the formerly Cool Kids Konami, this time featuring everyone's favorite heroes in a half-shell.
Pizza time! Pizza time!
The game allowed up to 4 players to control the popular turtles as they beat up enemies across New York and other various memorable settings set throughout time. Praised for staying true to the characters, the game was also a blast due to its exciting cooperative gameplay and its memorable soundtrack. It soon became Konami's most profitable arcade game, and for very good reason.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, our 4 reptilian heroes, have overcome the Arc villain Shredder.
Before we look at our best arcade game of the 90s, here are a few honorable mentions.
Big money! Big prizes! I love it! Yo, you need a ride?
Hey, what's it, you idiot?
Number 1. Street Fighter 2. One of the best arcade games, nay, video games, ever made, Street Fighter 2 is a true masterpiece in every sense of the word. A sequel to a game that barely anyone remembers, Street Fighter 2 was a major game changer, with iconic characters, competitive gameplay, and complex combos for pros. It's also notable for having more re-releases than any other arcade game, bringing in new characters and refining the character balance with every new iteration.
You win!
All in all, Street Fighter revolutionized the fighting game genre, and redefined the arcade scene as we know it, making it our number 1 pick for the best of the 90s. Do you agree with this list?
My dream is just about complete.
What arcade game from the 90s is your favorite? For more amazing top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
He shoots from the outside. He scores!